All right. Well, I am looking forward to introducing you to our music guest for this evening, coming to us from Maryland, and with her debut album, Lessons in Love, and her name means Messenger of God. Here she is, Angelia Robinson. Angelia, thank you so much for
Thank you so
over.
much
Yeah.
for having me.
Now, as I just mentioned, this is your debut CD,
Yes.
and you put a lot of work into this. I noticed you've written all the songs.
Yeah, you did your homework.
Yeah. So how long have you been singing, and what really caused you to take that step to say, you know what, I'm going to cut my own CD?
Well, okay, everybody has the same story. I've been singing since I was 5, type of thing. But just years ago, I was singing R&B music, as a teen coming up and, did the whole group thing and did the whole solo thing. And I just think that it was God's grace that I just did not become successful in that area because he had other plans for me and the gift that he's given me. Wow. And so I actually took some time out to just allow God to clean me up and deal with me and mature me. And I got married and had my children and just raised my family. And, God told me, he said, I'm going to use you in this area globally. He said, but I'm working on you. He said, so just don't go looking for it. When the time comes, you'll know it because all the doors will be open unto you. And so 2 years ago, he said, you're ready. And he began to open up the doors and hence Lessons in Love.
Wow, that's wonderful. I have to say right away, though, the key thing that really struck me in what you just said, though, is that through God's grace, he allowed me not to succeed. Because there's so many people, I think, who, have a passion in their heart and have a dream, but they get so frustrated and so down when it seems like those doors are closing. Yeah. Tell me a little bit, emphasize a little bit more maybe to those viewers who are frustrated over that, okay, what's going on? I have this passion, I really want to sing or whatever, but it's just not happening for me.
Yeah. I first always say you have to know yourself. Mm-hmm. And because I knew what my weaknesses were and what my struggles were, I knew that if I went into that certain area, I'd probably be lost. I really would be lost. I probably would not be serving God. You have to want life more than just things, and things of this world. And so life was more important to me. It's like, yes, I had a passion. I would have loved to have been some mega superstar all over the world, singing R&B music. But if it was going to mean my death, then it wasn't going to be worth it. And so you just have to know yourself and be patient and believe that God knows what's best for you. That's it.
Great. Well, what inspires you with your song? As I said, you've written all the songs on here. So what is your inspiration in lieu of the Sunday school answer?
No Sunday school answers coming from here.
Well, great. Tell us a little bit, what makes you stand out from some of these others?
Oh, my gosh, my story, my journey. One thing that I found a lot in gospel and Christian music is that everyone seems to be a preacher's kid. And I'm not. I'm not a preacher's kid. I was a suburban girl who grew up and, didn't feel like she was loved in her home. And nothing against my parents. I do believe they love me. But I was just looking for other things and, wasn't raised with my biological dad and looking for love in all the wrong places. And so I went out into other areas that I didn't have to, hanging around with the wrong crowd and getting involved in all types of things that, really could have just caused me to spiral. I mean, really, God's grace definitely had to keep me. And so, yeah, that's my story, my inspiration. This CD is my story, my journey from then to now.
Wow. Well, why call it a Lessons in Love?
Very good question, Rick. Actually, when I was singing R&B music, I always said that if I did a full CD, because I'd done some singles, that I wanted the name of my CD to be Lessons in Love, because I always wrote about love. I mean, that was generally the basis. And so then God showed me, you can still have that CD with that same title, but now you really know what true love is. And so now you can give it that same title with a different meaning.
Wow, that's a great answer right there. Well, tell us a little bit about this first song coming up. This is I Hear His Voice.
I Hear His Voice, very important, because at some point in our lives, everyone hears God's voice. Mm-hmm. It's whether or not you answer that you get the things that God has set aside for you. And so it's, hey, you hear that, that voice, you feel that tug, and you fight it and things like that. It's like, I don't know, this is different, and so it's just about that. It's just, I hear his voice calling me and, and I'm not comfortable with it, but I know that at some point I've got to surrender unto you because it's the best decision I'll ever make.
Amen to that. There's far too often do we kind of put the voice of God in that comfort category. Mm-hmm. And it's not always comfortable when you hear from him.
No, no indeed.
Well, wonderful. Well, without further ado, I'm going to let you take it over. Here's Angelia Robinson singing from her debut CD, Lessons in Love. Here is I Hear His Voice. Thank you.
Thank you.